Got a nice rainy day here to do some carp fishing at my local dam. And I've got my famous pack bait that I'm putting up against old tiger nuts. And I'm just going to put the tiger nut out there. Sometimes I will put the pack bait around the sinker with this rig, but I figured I'd, give it a try as is. I've already seen several carp and several drum and buffalo here while I was, getting all this ready. So it will be interesting to see if this will actually catch something. I'm actually curious to see if this rig will catch something. And I will show you more about my rigging here for carp after I catch a fish. Now I will say the dam just stopped generating probably an hour ago and the rain has stopped, and I don't think I'm going to be hit by more rain here in the future. I might, I don't know. It's one of those days where the rain might pop up at random. And I'm hoping that they're in the mood to eat what I have. Now I do have a carp rod pod at home. I have yet to replace the batteries on my bite alarm, so I'm just locking these down on my rod holder, my rolling rod holder cart. Let's hope a big carp doesn't pull in my cart. Here we go. Haha. The pack bait, the first to get a fish. Very cool. They've been nibbling on it on and off for a while, and now one hooked itself. I have been carp fishing for several days too. Ooh. Cool. Not a carp. That's some cool colors though. It's that time of year. It's a buffalo. He's hooked pretty deep. Look at the golden coloration on this buffalo. I don't think I've ever seen one this like golden. Usually they're like a gray color. Very cool. At least I'm not skunked. It's not a carp. But buffalo are cool. This guy, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old. They grow really slow and they can live to be like 100 years old or even more. So I'm going to release them. I'm going to use the net. Hopefully he'll swim out of my net. There he goes. Very gentle release. Now I did a short probably a few days ago talking about, or at least asking, if tiger nuts go bad. And I haven't had a single bite on the tiger nuts. This bait, usually the pack bait, works, incredibly well. And what I'm using is what's called a method lead. It's a bait up method lead by Corda. I think it's called Corda. And basically where it says bait up, that's where you put your hook. And this is called a hair rig, where you have a hook that has a, line on it where you can put fake corn, and that is fake corn. On the other rig, it's actually the tiger nut instead of fake corn. And I call that other rig a hybrid American-European rig. Like, this is a kind of a traditional European carp fishing rig, while I've hybridized that one, which I'll show you that in a little bit. I want to try to catch another fish. It'd be nice if they would grab the tiger nuts. I will show the bait, but I use a threading needle to put it through the fake corn, and then there's this, little thing that, it's a loop, and I put this small piece of plastic through the loop, and then it holds the fake corn on the hair rig, and it's just a simple, J-hook. And this one's pre-made. I think this might even be Corda pre-made, hair rig. Making that tiny loop is really hard to do. I rather, have these pre-made rigs. And usually you can shove the tiny barrel swivel into the method lead, but it's not holding it in place. These are old, and I've used them a few times. And this is my famous pack bait. I will leave an iCard above to the short where I show how you make this. In comparison to the tiger nuts, this is a very messy bait. And if I cast it too hard, it will fling it off the method lead, so I have to be careful even when casting. That's why I got these 10-foot rods, just to get, a few extra yards on the cast. I'll show you the tiger nuts. This is made for carp fishing. Legend Tiger Nut Pineapple Supreme. I think it's over a year old, so maybe I need to buy a new jar. Hello. Oh. Make sure I'm recording. Whoa. Cool. Not surprised that the pack bait is getting more fish. And this is a bigger one. And I'm not aiming on him. All right, we got a good one on. Hopefully it won't go in my other line. This is braid, and having braid get into braid is never fun. This is a good fish. Cool. Now, going into the rocks now. That's not good. There we go. Cool. Now I gotta land this guy. Oh. into the net. Beautiful. And this is what I was looking for, a carp. Good sized one too. I don't want to drop them on the concrete. There you go. That is a carp. Common carp. Pretty orange. I've noticed that they're more orange in this water than anywhere else. I'm going to release him using the net again. And his friends are down there. I guess they followed him in. There's like 5 carp down there at the moment. That's kind of cool. Alright, going to get him back down there with his friends. There he goes. Well, caught the target fish. Very cool. I actually forgot to bring a measure with me just in case I caught a trophy sized one, and that one was probably pretty close. Most of the carp that I catch seem to be like stocky and short. That one was a little bit longer, but I think it needs to be longer than even that one to be considered a trophy in the Tennessee Angler Recognition Program. And I've been trying for years. I should have brought a measuring tape. Now I think I'm going to dip this fake corn into the pineapple juice. A lot of people will have like a bottle of like some kind of flavoring and they'll put that onto the fake corn to make it more appealing. I've actually used honey in the past and the fake honey that you can get at like the Dollar Tree. They both work and they're both good to mix into the pack bait. Which I may end up running out of the pack bait because I've tried multiple times to get carp, which I may have already said earlier in the video. Now the water here is no more than like 15 feet deep. So this is all kind of shallow water. It's also relatively flat because, you know, of the generators. I think I will reel in the tiger nut and refresh it, just in case maybe that's what needs to be done. I don't know. Well, it was on a snag too. And here I'm saying it's relatively flat and I end up in a snag. There are a couple of snags out there. But this is the hybrid American-European rig. It is a hair rig with the tiger nut on it. And I'm using the same piece of plastic to hold the tiger nut on. And this is the, I think it's a Corda pre-made rig. But then the American side is just a typical egg sinker with a bead to protect the swivel. Now I have put pack bait on this before, and pack bait on a rig like this is just to attract the fish to it, which it's the same on that one. That pack bait is to attract the carp or whatever to the rig. And this has a piece of cork in it, and that piece of cork makes it float. So when it's on the bottom, you know, it's going to be up like that. Which means I don't think a buffalo would eat this. If you think or have caught buffalo with tiger nuts, let me know in the comments below. But I don't think a buffalo would grab this, but a carp would eventually, hopefully. Okay, I'll be a little more specific here. Tiger nut and drill. So I drill a hole in it for the cork. And there's the hole. Cut off this small piece of cork, put it in the hole. And I have a baiting needle. I go through the cork and through the tiger nut, and hopefully not break the tiger nut. I went through kind of sideways. Then I use this little hook to go on the loop on the hair rig to put this on the hair rig. And there we go. This one's a little bit off, but it should still work. And you can see the little piece of plastic to hold the cork on there. I actually dipped it in that pineapple juice a little bit more. And you cast it out as is, or you could have it with a method lead and, you know, have some pack bait. So you end up having pack bait and a tiger nut. But I've caught carp with only tiger nuts before. And I was hoping I'd catch one today, but like I said, these tiger nuts might be bad. They are less messy and easier to cast. Okay, my battery was dead when this fish hit. And he hit hard, and he got the tiger nut that I just refreshed. Ooh, he's got some weight to him too. I hope he doesn't go into anybody else's lines or into these rocks, but I had to change the battery out on the camera. Thankfully, he did not pull in the cart. So maybe tiger nuts do work when they're really old. Very cool. And he's got friends following him. That's funny. They must be schooling up here. All right, into the net. No, out of the net. To the side of the net. Come on. There we go. Oh. Whoops. Another good one. Another nice carp. And this time it was on the tiger nuts. Very cool. Well, that's good. Caught one carp on the pack bait, one carp on the tiger nuts, and a buffalo on the pack bait. Alright, gonna let this guy go. This guy has some weight to him. Probably should move my cart over a little bit. There's this one spot where I got good access to the water. There he goes. Very nice. And one of the advantages of tiger nuts is you get to reuse them most of the time. Although I will probably dip this in the pineapple juice before I put it back out there. And next time I'll try to remember to bring some honey. I will say I was not expecting to catch a carp on the tiger nuts, but here we are. Let's see what else I can catch. Whoa! Tiger nuts again. My remote is disconnected again. That was a good hit. They seem to have a taste for tiger nuts now. It didn't hook up, but I can reuse my bait. Although I will re-dip it in the pineapple. Just going to put this right back out. Alright, maybe I'll catch another one. Now, I do have to mention this because it may have been a problem earlier. This is a Bluetooth remote. And this camera has problems with Bluetooth. And I may have disconnected this physically connected microphone earlier when I was fighting that carp. I won't know until, I'm editing the video. But I know several of you have said that I need to get one of those clip-on remotes, the Bluetooth ones, but I can't do that, obviously, because this camera has problems with Bluetooth. And the other action cameras out right now, their quality isn't as good as this one. The Bluetooth is the only problem this one has. And I don't like it when, a camera shuts down in the middle of recording because it's glitching out or overheating or all these hundreds of other problems these other cameras are having. So until somebody comes out with a better action camera, or I decide to hire somebody to film me with an expensive Sony camera, this is what I got to deal with. Although I might go the Catfish Dave route and try that new 360 camera that he's been using. That could allow me to film the front of the boat and the rear of the boat at the same time when needed, like whenever I'm fishing with Clint for bluegill or whatever in the boat. For now, let's get back to some fishing. Alright, I just looked at the generating schedule and they're going to be turning the turbines on soon. Fast water and packed bait don't mix too well. So I'm going to reel these up and head to the house. I think I did pretty good. If that fish was hooked on the tiger nuts, that last hit, they'd be tied right now with the pack bait, which is pretty cool. Obviously the pack bait attracted the fish quicker, probably because the pack bait spreads out and puts scent everywhere, while the tiger nut is just a tiny bait. It's like putting out a single piece of corn. And I've caught carp on single pieces of corn in the past. So it's possible. You just have to have more patience with the tiger nuts. And I don't know if it was patience or just no fish in the area that I was fishing. I don't know. I went 3 times, got skunked 3 times. This is the 4th try, and I was able to catch some fish. I may have to convert that pack bait back to a hybrid rig so I can try some fresh tiger nuts. I think I'm actually going to do an order. I'm going to get me some, hopefully they have them in stock. Last time I checked, which was a long time ago it seems, they didn't have any the pre-rigged hair rigs in stock. And I usually fish at like Big Carp Tackle, or buy, not fish, but buy at Big Carp Tackle. I'm not affiliated with them at all. I'm not affiliated with Corda. But yeah, that's where I usually buy my carp stuff for here in the United States. And I will probably do an order. I'll buy some fresh tiger nuts from them, or I might try making my own. I haven't decided yet. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You get to see what I decide to do. But I'm still going to make an order because I want some of those pre-made rigs. And I'm getting a bite. Let's see if he's on there. It's acting like it. Might be a small one. Yeah. No. Ah, he got off. All right. Here's a problem this rig has. Oh, well, no, that's not a problem. But I will show you a problem that these method leads have. They got holes in them, and sometimes the hook will get in one of these holes. That is why I like the Tiger Nut rig better. And anyway, as always, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to actually watch my video. I really, really appreciate it. And definitely do me a huge favor and hit that thumbs up if you want me to do more carp related videos. It's something I've been slacking on a lot, and the Google algorithm might actually be noticing it and may not promote this video because I'm not catching catfish in it. So hitting that thumbs up will help. And hopefully next time I won't forget a measuring tape just in case I catch a trophy size carp. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you next time.